Do you want to say it?
I'm not saying it. I've got nothing in me.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure.
You said it last time.
How's it go again?
The biggest books.
The bestest looks.
And?
This is all the charm it ever took.
It is.
That's bad.
Run it by me.
The biggest books, the bestest looks, and all the charm it ever took. I'll have to rehearse. I'll have to rehearse a little bit. Build myself
Down
up.
3-2 in the fourth inning. Dalton finally got it out.
I'm going to just start doing that in the mirror at home. Like, I'm just going to put this on. Because honestly, I've noticed something. I dress up more for the videos than I do for my job. Like, normally I just wear a hoodie and, like, call it good and keep my hair in a ponytail. But, like, I actually clean up a little bit for this.
No part of me believes you. Either A, that you pay more attention to the way you look here than other places, or that B, this is you cleaned up.
This is me cleaned up. But I'm going to start cleaning up a little bit. I'm going to get in front of the mirror. I'm going to work myself up. And I'm going to do the intro. And one of these days, I'm just going to hit you with it. When you aren't expecting it. You got to wait till you're not expecting it, though. That's how it works. Anyway, I'm Dalton Gentry. This is Adrian Fort. This is Variety Hour. I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about.
Had a crazy week at work.
Did you?
Yeah.
Go on.
Watched a woman drop a dime bag of crystal meth. Another customer said, hey, that woman dropped that. I went to pick it up, decided I'm not touching that.
That's fair.
So I walked off. I was going to call the cops. Look, if it had been a little bit of weed, wouldn't have said anything.
Okay.
Crystal meth, you're a danger to other people.
Fair statement.
Right? We both live in Missouri, Kansas City area. We know the effects of meth.
Meth is bad around here.
I went to go call the police. The customer that informed me she dropped it informed her she dropped it.
Oh, God.
And she picked it up and scurried out the door.
Aww.
Yeah. I had a woman tell me, quote unquote, I want to show you my titties. To which I responded, that's not necessary.
It's a good way of
answering
that.
That's not necessary. We're gonna move past this, lady. A bunch of stuff happened that night. I can't remember what else it was.
Oh, this was all in one night?
Yeah, this was in one night.
Oh, dear. That's where, like, the universe aligns and shit just hits the fan.
Oh, you have no idea how much stuff I deal with on overnights. Like, it's one of the, you would never suspect it, but overnights in a small town part of town, awful.
Yeah?
Awful.
Now we're going to have to talk about work stories. I went to work one night, and I only remember it because it was on Halloween, and I hated myself for this. But I used to work at the prison, worked at law enforcement. I was in charge of this housing unit. It was the segregation unit. So if you screw up in prison, you get to come live with me. I had 190 beds, and I came in, and
You came in 190 beds?
I came into 190 beds. We have 190 beds, right? We have 190 beds. I walk in to go to my shift meeting where the supervisor before me tells me, what I've got to deal with for the night.
Passes the torch.
And he sits down and he says, here's the deal. 190 beds. You've got 202 people in here. Figure it out. I'm going home. Worst night of my life.
Yeah.
Does not end well.
Did they have to sleep in shifts? What worked out there?
Well, basically, they are sat on these lovely metal benches, handcuffed to the bench, because at this point, they're in this area for a reason. They're a danger to people. And eventually we had to ship them to another location because there's just no way to do it. But it turned into a rotating fiasco where I spent 6 hours trying to move people around to hit time limits to make sure nobody was in one area too long. Everybody was getting proper restroom and water breaks. Nightmare.
Yeah.
But to couple off your story, I was working at the bookstore once, and one of the customers did drop a small bag of pot. At which point somebody says, is that pot? And everybody's like, well, I think it is. What should we do? And everybody's sitting around I guess we should flush it. That's probably just the best idea here is just flush it. At which point one gentleman's like, yeah, I'll do that.
I'm sure you will.
Immediately snatched it up and ran to the bathroom and flushed it. Good for him. But the best part of this story, the difference between crystal meth users and pot smokers, is about 2 hours later, this guy comes back into the store, looking a little haggard. He's like, hey, is there a lost and found? I may have dropped something. And we're like, what'd you drop? He's like, just got a box I could look through. He didn't want to say it. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. That doesn't work like that. It's gone forever now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And this is while you still had the big hair, right?
This is when I did have the big
So
hair.
he was looking at you very suspiciously.
He knew that I knew. But that's okay. That's fine.
Oh, that same night, we had 4 people at different times come in and stink the place up with the smell of skunkweed.
Yeah.
Just hellaciously.
Yeah.
Like, not, that guy smells like weed. This sector of the store smells like skunk because of your ass. And I'm going to tell you right now, if that's what legalization means, put them all in jail. I don't give a damn.
That bad, huh?
That bad.
I don't understand that. I have known a lot of people in my day who smoke pot. And I don't understand how it gets to that point where you just emit this smell. But I know what you're talking about. I guarantee everybody who has smelled that smell knows what you're talking about. And it's amazing how pungent it is.
Yeah, and so my whole shift, the store smelled like skunkweed. And like, I don't know, it's not legal here. It's about to be medicinally legal. But if you think you're getting off being searched by a police officer because you smell like skunkweed, you're absolutely wrong. Because they're not prescribing skunkweed, sir. You didn't get that from a doctor's office, sir.
Fair.
You smell like Pepe Le Pew. Step outside. Just awful.
So you've been a supervisor for a long time at your job, right?
Since I was 18.
Have you ever had the distinct pleasure of having to sit an employee down and be like, hey, we need to have a conversation. You need to shower. That is by far one of the worst and most awkward conversations I have ever had to have in my adult life.
Yeah. Where did you have to have it?
When I was working at the prison.
Really?
Absolutely. And like, granted, I mean, look at me.
You look like you stink.
I should, but I showered before I came here. I smell nice.
You
I
always smell
do.
relatively well.
When you have to sit down to another adult and be like, listen, I don't want to embarrass you, but people are starting to complain and won't work with you because you smell bad.
Yeah.
And like, if it's a medical thing, we need to talk about it. But like, I can see your hair. It's not. I need you to shower before you come to work.
I always try to make it, situations like that, I always try to diffuse them with a sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes people have said, that way the person has the ability to have the out with themselves,
And like, it's a delicate subject because obviously that individual is probably aware of this. They're probably aware of this, but they're not making any changes. You would imagine they're in a pretty bad place. Yeah. Some people, not aware of it. They're just going about their time.
Well, and some people, so I think that also what happens, some people get so bad with themselves that they don't realize it, I get in that place sometimes, my hair especially. My hair gets out of control. I'm 2 months away from I'm 2 months away from where I should have gotten a haircut, things like that. And you don't realize how ridiculous you look. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
And
fair.
I think that something like that's probably the same thing.
I'm super sensitive about smells, though, and like super self-conscious about that. Like, I don't want to smell weird. I don't know where that comes from, but it is a horrible fear of mine.
Oh, me too, and I guarantee you I still smell.
So anyway, on a brighter note, we talk about food every now and then. I love food.
I would like to make one more point about working retail before we move on.
Please do.
One thing that's worse than that, and I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, is when, because you were management at retail, right?
Yes.
A kid steals something, and their parent comes up to you and says, hey, Johnny stole this. I need you to make him feel bad. Have you ever been in that situation?
Not that particularly. But one thing that always used to piss me off is when I was working in law enforcement, I had the full uniform, the pretty badge. People would just randomly assume, will you yell at my kid so he's afraid?
Very few things have made me more angry in my life than when Johnny steals a candy bar and mommy comes up to me and says, I need you to yell at him. Oh, I'm sorry. You're the parent.
Yeah.
I always tell that person no. I always say, and I'm not, that's not my job, guy. But in that situation,
That's not your job.
that's not my job.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a fair statement.
Because the minute I cross, one thing I'm afraid of is going too far. I don't have kids. I'm not used to the situation. If I
now
tell
the
Johnny,
police are going to show up because
Right.
there's a man yelling at you.
Well, if I tell Johnny I'm going to smother him, don't steal my candy, Mom's probably upset.
Yeah.
Look, lady, you gave me the license. Okay, this is your fault now that he will always be afraid of short white men.
I'm the exact opposite of parenting. I don't go the yell route. I'm the kind of guy who's like, oh, was that good? Go get more. It's fine. I'll pay for it. Let's eat the whole box. Keep going.
Like
It's good for you.
Like when your parents caught you smoking.
When
the
your
first time.
parents catch you smoking and
Make
they're
you
like,
smoke the whole pack?"
pack of cigarettes. Which I've never sat and just smoked an entire pack like chain smoking. I can't imagine that's pleasant.
No.
No. My parents never, I don't know if they knew. By the way, I've also realized my father watches this constantly. Actually, I've been hanging out with him quite a bit recently, and he is amazed by the fact that people enjoy gym stories. I'm like, no, you're like a thing on the internet now, Father. It's okay. But I don't know if my parents ever knew I smoked, nor maybe thought. I don't know. But when I first started smoking, I smoked peach Swisher Sweet cigarillos.
A lot of people start there. I think.
That's a good starting point. There is no way humanly possible you could smoke an entire pack of those back to back.
No.
That will kill you.
You
And it
get
will taste delicious.
You get diabetes.
It's just so sweet.
You wouldn't get lung cancer. You get diabetes.
Speaking of just so sweet, do you like sweet things? You have a sweet tooth?
I'm sweet enough.
That's horrible. I found something, and it might be the end of me. You ever been to longboards?
Yeah.
Do you like longboards?
Yeah. Do they have one in St. Joe?
They do now. It's downtown.
Wow.
They have at this longboards, they have a
Explain
local...
what longboards is.
Okay.
I think it's a local thing.
Is it a local? I think
Yeah.
it comes from a coast.
Does it come from a coast?
comes from a coast.
I thought it came from a person who came from the coast.
It could have been. He's like, I'm going to go to the Midwest and make burritos. They're wraps. They're like grilled wraps, but they have a Californian feel to them.
It's like Subway moved to California.
Yeah. So, usually when I go, my wrap has, shrimp and pineapple and teriyaki chicken and rice. It's a weird wrap,
But it tastes good.
but it's amazing. So the local St. Joseph one has a little sign, and it's written on cardboard, and I assume this is a local thing, where they make a s'mores wrap. And it's $4. They take the tortilla, and they slather it in Nutella. At which point they slather on Jiffy marshmallow fluff, a fine sprinkling and layering of graham cracker, and then, if you're so inclined, which I am, you can take an entire cookie, have them cut it in half, and put it in the wrap, at which point they will then grill said wrap for you and let you eat it. It is the single richest thing I have ever tasted in my life. And I could not finish the wrap myself. And longboards wraps are pretty hefty. But oh my God, was it good. If we are ever going to diverge into the point where we're going to be eating things on this channel, that will be one of them.
Yeah, we've hit the point of variety hour where I am disappointed in you.
You're welcome.
What did you just say to me?
A s'mores wrap.
A s'mores
A
wrap.
s'mores wrap. Nutella, marshmallow fluff, graham cracker, and a double chocolate chip cookie.
I said that it was like someone moved Subway to California. I've got an embarrassing story from Subway. When I moved to St. Louis, I moved to St. Charles.
Okay.
Which isn't really St. Louis, but people from St. Charles say they're from St. Louis. People from St. Louis say, no, you're not.
I'm from Kansas City.
Yeah, being from St. Joe, no, you're not. I didn't live in the greatest part of St. Charles. St. Charles is a hoity-toity area.
Okay.
I did not have hoity-toity money. I realized that when the Subway I went to on a daily basis, and it's one of those things where you move cities and you, for some reason, forget your default settings on certain restaurants, and I started getting different things at the Subway, and boy, a tuna with hot sauce really is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I realized, have all the Subways I've ever gone to had hot sauce? Or do I live in the poor area of St. Charles? And it turns out, I lived in the poor area of St. Charles.
No.
Your s'mores wrap is that hot sauce.
That's fair. But god damn, is it good.
I cannot believe you.
I can't believe you that tuna and hot sauce goes well together. Now, fish and hot sauce, absolutely. But like tuna fish with like mayonnaise on it?
You've never had hot sauce and mayonnaise and tuna?
No.
Oh my god, it's delicious.
Like, I feel like I'm going to try it because that's the kind of person I am. But like,
There was a long time where I survived off of cans of tuna with a little bit of mayonnaise and some hot sauce in it.
I used to, when I was eating healthier and in better shape, my work snack, I'd get one of those tuna pouches.
Yeah.
Far superior than canned tuna. I get it in the sunflower oil. That was it, man. Eat it straight.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Anyway, Subway. I don't go to Subway.
Why not?
I don't understand Subway.
What do you mean you don't understand Subway?
So when I was growing up, we had a Subway in Cameron. And because it was in Cameron, they had the local flair and specialty where you could get basically a pizza on your sub sandwich. It was just like mozzarella, marinara, and pepperonis.
Yeah, that was a thing.
That was a thing. Was that a thing in like the 90s maybe? But like it's not really a thing now. So that was like the only thing I would ever eat. That and the seafood and crab. Do you remember the seafood and crab?
You can find it once in a while.
Once in a while. It's kind of like a crab salad. Imitation crab, mayonnaise, whatever. I always just assumed that if I ordered a seafood and crab, like that's what I would get. But like every time I get it, they're like, well, what would you like on it? I'm like, seafood and crab? And then you get that look like, is some bitch gonna eat just seafood and crab? Like, I don't want lettuce, I don't want olives, I don't want cheese. Just give me that clumpy crab goodness on bread. That is what I want. And it makes me uncomfortable every time, so I don't go to Subway.
What makes you uncomfortable?
Asking for that, because you always have to explain, like, no, I don't want anything else on it. They're like, are you sure? You want some cheese? I'm like, no, I'm good.
All you have to say
Seafood and
is, that'll be fine.
I don't like it.
What do you mean you don't like it?
I don't like having choices with my sandwich. I like to go and say I would like this, and I want to bitch about it when it's not what I want.
That is what you want in life, Dalton.
It's fair. It's fair.
That is what you want in all of your daily microtransactions as well?
Oh my god. So we're gonna have a food talk today.
Okay.
So I went to the Little Caesars not long ago. You familiar?
Am I familiar with Little Caesars?
Yeah, you lived in St.
Or
Joe.
is it the Little Caesars?
The Little Caesars.
Okay.
It's the one on 22nd and Mitchell.
The Little Caesars. Oh yeah, I went there actually. Yeah, that was the first place we ever got pizza when I moved to.
They
St. Joe.
remodeled.
Yeah.
So Little Caesars is like it's a pizza chain. I'm assuming it's a thing. I'm not sure if it's
Yes,
just
that's a thing.
Midwest specifically.
I don't think so.
Whatever. $5 pizzas. You can get a $5 hot and ready pepperoni pizza. Walk in, $5, good to go. The pizza store right down the street from my house has an app now where I can order my pizza, whatever I want, order my wings, my cheese bread, and I go in and there's this huge dystopian tower that I take my phone up to and scan, and like out of Star Wars, one of the little things will just go open up and my pizza's right there. It's glorious.
That's Star Wars level technology.
It's glorious. I no longer have to have any social interaction when I'm shamefully going to get my $5 pizza, which I'm going to eat half of. It's wonderful. And the best part is it's in St. Joe, so no one knows how it works.
Yeah.
So there's this huge line of people trying to get pizza, and I can just walk right in, scan my phone. Pizza. It impressed the hell out of me.
Whoa.
Like, I demand that this is the way we go with food service. Like, my number one at McDonald's should just be hot and ready to go, and all I have to do is scan my phone and just, Big Mac.
You can do that pretty much.
Can you?
Yeah, you can order McDonald's via an app now.
Say, we have DoorDash now in St. Joe, which, like, is Uber Eats, basically, but we can't afford Uber in St. Joe, so we have DoorDash. I can't tell Josh about it, because he'll never leave the house again.
Yeah.
Because, like, for an extra $5, they'll deliver whatever you want. And it's glorious. I'm about it.
Josh needs to work for them. Just show up places in his man thong. That would be glorious.
Delivering food?
Door-to-door meat.
I forgot we named him Meat.
Yeah.
I'm so proud of you. Remembered that. He may need to, because he's looking for a new job, which Josh does periodically. It's about every 6 months. He's looking for a new job. He never finds one. But they're very elusive, these jobs, but he's searching for one.
Yeah.
But I guess his boss, finally sat him aside and said, hey, if you're late again, like 2 or 3 more times, I gotta fire you. And Josh is the man who goes to work at midnight And most nights at 12:15, I wake him up. I'm like, hey, I'm going to bed, so like you should probably get it going. Consistently, 5-6 nights out of the week. But I guess the boss finally dropped the hammer, and Josh is like, I'm not going to do that. They won't fire me. I'm like, Josh, just get out of bed 10 minutes earlier.
Yeah, don't be an idiot.
And you're fine. But he is convinced that they will not fire him because he does a good job and they have an unspoken agreement, despite the fact that his boss has a spoken agreement otherwise, that he will not be fired because he does a good job.
Well, there is something. He works the overnight shift.
He does work the overnight.
A lot of people don't like to fire their overnight guy.
And the problem is right now is his gas station he works at has an incredibly strict attendance policy. Like, you call in once, they'll fire you.
Wow.
So there is no one who is ever working there except Josh. Josh is the rock that holds it together. So do you take it and just accept the fact he's going to be about 10 minutes late every day?
He might be right. He might be right.
Josh has a monopoly on the overnight at Speedy's. I'm so proud.
Yeah. But I've had to change a lot of my microtransactions on a daily basis.
Yeah?
Because the door on my truck broke.
Oh.
I ripped the handle off my driver's side of the door.
You told me this.
So now I look like I'm catching a ride until I drive away, right? I didn't realize for a long time, it's been like a month and a half, how much that changes my behavior.
Yeah.
Because I cannot get in my driver's side. I have to pop open the driver's side from inside the passenger seat and walk around or climb over everything, and it's a very small truck. So that's not going to happen. I don't go to Quick Trip.
Yeah.
For a little, I'm going to go to Quick Trip and grab something. Nope, because it's a pain in the ass. Don't go to Subway, because it's a pain in the ass. I don't do anything anymore besides go shopping and go to work. Go grocery shopping and go to work.
I feel like you could get a new door handle.
I could.
Unless, like, you're about this life. Like, what are you going to do if the other handle breaks?
I've never thought of it that way.
That's a problem.
I can't come in through the trunk.
Like, I had this same conversation with Megan when one of her 4 doors in her car would open. I'm like, so what happens when the other doesn't open anymore?
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not in there.
Oh, you can open it from the inside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Say, hers wouldn't open at all. I'm like,
Really?
well, hopefully, something doesn't happen and you can't get out the one door.
Or the windows. Like,
Or
if
the
they were
windows.
iced closed.
But, hopefully one day you just don't go to work and bust your other truck handle and you can't get in your car.
Well, I figure at that point, I'd just start walking. Not to and from work. I'd just start walking.
Yeah.
I'd have what was in my pockets, and I'd walk. Eventually, I'd end up someplace.
I don't remember.
Because you can't go back to your life when it's that way.
No. I don't remember where this came from. Like, I had to have been when I was considerably younger and hanging out with my parents' friends. Like, my parents went out to do something and they had to bring me because I am the child. We can't leave it at home. But I remember at one point, a guy could not get his truck window down. Like, the little rolling thing busted on him. So he just busted out the window and called it a day.
He must not have had air conditioning in his truck.
Oh, I think at that point he just didn't care.
Or he was drunk. Like, that you would much rather have a window that doesn't roll down
Than no window at all?
than no window at all, yeah. What do you do when it rains?
Oh, I've got a guy who comes to work, and for some reason, the back window of his car is busted out. And, like, it's been busted out all winter. Like, I'll park behind him, and, like, it'll just be, like, snow piled up in the backseat of his little Jeep thingy. I guess some people are just okay with this life.
Well, until it starts growing mold, and what are you going to do when the flies and bees and wasps are setting up shop in your car?
I had a cousin of mine who was notorious for leaving his windows down all night, and, it rains in the car, it causes problems. And he finally changed his ways when he was driving down the highway, and there was a raccoon in his back seat.
That'll do it.
That will be your factor to change.
A raccoon in his back seat?
Absolutely. Like, that's what it took. I always like to imagine, like, if he ever gets a little downtrodden or something, I'm just going to go, like, catch a live raccoon and just let it go in his house just to see.
See if he'll move.
See if it's the raccoon that really just sets him off and changes him.
That's the impetus. Like, it's a raccoon or nothing.
Like, it's such a good fantasy. This is the raccoon of change. This will bring it upon you.
The raccoon of destiny.
Raccoon of destiny?
Yeah.
There's a story there if I've ever
a
heard
raccoon
one.
forces you into change through which you learn your true destiny. The raccoon of destiny.
That's brilliant. This is why we should not be sitting and talking for 25 minutes with, like, no scripts.
Probably.
Raccoons of Destiny.
Yeah.
If somebody doodles a Raccoon of Destiny, I will be so happy. That is all I want right now.
Peter?
Oh, Peter Clark, the writer, hit me with an amazing doodle on Twitter.
Yeah.
And, like, it killed me to the point where, like, I want to make it our banner for the channel. It makes me so happy. I love it.
You love it that much?
It, like, I saved it on my phone.
Oh, I saved it too.
For, like, I'm like, you don't know how Twitter works. You're going to forget about this. You saved this. You're going to need it. Because, like, I don't know why, but it cracks my shit up, and I love it.
Yeah, that's a good doodle.
Anyway.
He's good at that. He doodles all sorts of people.
I like me a little doodle. Yeah. I actually found, so we, been doing some spring cleaning, as I normally do when the weather gets nice, open the house up, clean the dust and everything from winter. But I had located an old caricature that somebody drew of me probably 10 years ago when I had my giant hair. And, like, I was just going to throw it away because I'm like, whatever. And Megan sees it and she's like, absolutely not. We will frame that and it will grace our walls forever. So I guess I like doodles of me. I'm about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem like the type.
That likes doodles of me?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm okay with that. You got anything else you want to talk about?
No.
Take that as a no. So this was Variety Hour. If you like this kind of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a like as well, purely out of sympathy. And if you want to help us create more great content like this and our book reviews here on Strip Cover Lit, there's a link, as always, to Patreon to be found in our description below.